All right, hello. I just felt it would be appropriate to do an update for what I've been doing for the last, I'd say, about 3 weeks. I think I'm going to continue doing these because sometimes, I just don't get a stretch of clear skies, and clearly I haven't got one of those. So I wanted to start off first with I got the ASI 1600 Pro, as you probably saw on Instagram. It's a really I was blown away with this camera. I didn't think it'd be that much of a game changer. So I finished my Horsehead image finally after 5 nights, and you probably saw the final on Instagram as well. So the image was a total of 13 hours of integration, and it was an HA LRGB image. I got all the LRGB from the DSLR and the HA from the ASI 1600 Pro. So this is the HA. If I recall correctly, I did deconvolution, did John Reese's noise reduction, stretched it to nonlinear, and maybe a bit of star reduction, and that was pretty much it. Processing HA is much easier than color, and I gotta admit, and it gives you a lot better results, and just like an end product is 1,000 times better than the DSLR. I know that this is pretty typical of what a DSLR user says, going from a DSLR to an ASI 1600 or cooled mono camera, but I didn't think it'd be that big of a difference. So that's the HA. This is the final image I came up with. I'm sort of on the fence about it. It doesn't really seem to be a final to me. It's like a unofficial, official final image, if that makes sense. I think the HA turned out pretty good. It's probably a bit red overall, and there's some things I'd probably change. There it is. And I did my N42 finally. I got the data from the William Optics Megrez 90 and the Astrotech 65 EDQ, which has since been replaced. I replaced it with the Megrez about a month and a half ago, and it has impressed me a lot. Haven't had a single issue with it. So here it is. This is about 5.5 hours of integration. I'm not gonna lie, other than like some issues here, this is my first time doing deconvolution. I'm extremely happy with this. I know some people were like, it looks a bit off, and you should try pulling the dust out a bit more. Like, for example, some people were saying for me to stretch this to look like something like, let me get, something like this. Stretch it like that, and make it like all the dust really bright. This is like pretty rough stretch here, but make the dust brighter. But as you can see, if I do that, it makes the dust extremely noisy, and the dust was already really noisy, and it was really hard getting the dust like this. You could see before that stretch there's already tons of noise, but for the DSLR I'm really happy with this. There's some issues in the core that I could have fixed with HDR, but I even got like some little nebula over here. It looks like a reflection nebula. I'm not really sure, but overall I'm really happy with this. So now on to the work in progress projects. So currently I have 3 ongoing projects. I'm only able to do HA right now, as all my filters except my hydrogen alpha filter are 31 millimeter, and the ASI 1600 I don't have the wheel yet. It's actually in the mail. So my HA is 1.25, which allows me to at least do HA, which is good. So I started 3 galaxies, or groups of galaxies, just collecting HA. So the first one is M106. You probably know this as the pinwheel. I got HA. This is 2.8 hours. Don't regard that. That's 2.8. So looks really impressive, especially for 2.8 hours. And these are all nebula in the galaxy. I actually had someone add this to their LRGB from an ASI 1600, and it is impressive to say the least. So that's the HA for M101. This is the HA on the Leo triplet. I had some clouds go through that night, and I had some issues, but overall, it doesn't look too bad. I'm kind of getting used to the quality of the data that this camera provides, so I'm starting to understand how this works. Really, the main reason I'm doing HA on this is for this galaxy right here, M65. If you add HA to this, as you can see, the galaxy is about yay big with LRGB, and you can see all these nebula in here. This isn't Drizzle. I'll be drizzling all this data so I can get some more resolution, but I'm pretty happy with this. And this is 2.2 hours. And by the way, I plan on getting about 6 to 8 hours of HA for each of these targets. And finally, M81, M82. This is the one I started off with. This is the first one I started shooting. This is 2.1 hours. As you can see, the main reason I'm doing this is so I can get this starburst center in the middle of the cigar galaxy. A lot of people that do HA like to bring that out, and I thought I would give it a stab. And once again, I had this combined with another user's LRGB data, and it looked extremely impressive. Especially M81, when it was combined, you saw all these little nebula in his data just pop. That was really cool seeing. I've never really seen anything like that before. Alright, so there's done. That's my finished images of the year so far, and the work in progress projects. So that's really hard to say. So now I need your help. I am looking to start yet another project just to make things even more fun for me. So this is the Galaxy M101. I just have open in the N.I.N.A framing wizard. And I was looking at this framing for the next project. This Galaxy has a load of nice HA filaments in here. And this box is my FOV, my field of view with the telescope. So I was thinking about putting the middle of the frame right around here. Not like, I was thinking here, but then I was like, I want all these galaxies to be relatively centered. So something like this. Normally, my telescope's in this orientation, and it's in this orientation for all of my other projects. So I was wondering if you guys thought that this framing would be better. Just, kind of turn your head sideways and look at it that way. Or if I should do framing like this. And I'd hang it, if I'm going to start printing these images. So imagine it hanging as a horizontal portrait on my wall in this configuration. I don't know, I just couldn't really figure it out for myself, so I just thought, why not ask the viewers? Yeah, so this is pretty much all. I am imaging tonight, it's clear. I'm actually about to go take the cover off the scope and get ready to go, but I just wanted to give out this little update before in its own separate video, just so you guys would, know what's going on, because it's been very cloudy lately. We had about 3.5 inches of rain, sleet, snow, freezing rain. We had pretty much every single type of precipitation today. We still have some ice on the roof, actually. So, yeah, I'm going to go get the scope ready. So, thanks for watching, and have a good day.